So ice damming is caused by poor ventilation or poor insulation. So if your attic, correct. Right. If your attic is hotter than outside, you're going to have a problem.
You're listening to the Dory Podcast, where we spotlight the people, ideas, and businesses keeping Ottawa running. From contractors to real estate investors, entrepreneurs to industry experts, we dive into real conversations and help grow everybody's pie.
Episode 23, Vanity Roofing.
We're live.
Yay.
Live recording.
Let's do it.
Hey, Tufon, nice to see you today from Vanity Roofing. Should we talk about your nickname?
No.
Okay.
No.
Some stuff we keep for
Yeah,
off
we
camera.
keep that for off camera.
Okay. Deal. So no, thank you for coming in. Obviously, on the Dory Podcast, we try to have people on that are in business and that serve the real estate market in some way, shape, or form. So we thought that you'd be a great guest to have on. I mean, Dory Property Management has been dealing with your company for, I think we're trying to figure out since COVID.
I think just before COVID. So I think maybe 2019.
Okay. And obviously you've been a preferred vendor of ours for since then. So, we're happy to see that you would
Thank you for
come in.
us.
And
it's much appreciated to be here.
And
I've been watching the content.
Oh, well, there you go. So Mike's doing a good job.
Mike's doing a great job.
Sounds good. So tell me, tell us how did you get involved in this business? Like where did you come from?
So originally I was focusing on real estate. And I'm good with my hands. I had a buddy in high school who was doing roofing, and he kept doing it on and off every summer. And eventually we just looked at it and we were like, maybe we could try this. We did it. And in the beginning, it was slow, obviously. You've got to get out there. We started subcontracting for some of the larger companies. Mm-hmm. And then we realized that they weren't providing the level of service that we thought you could give.
Sure.
And so we thought, let's do a home show. And then we thought that would be the magic answer. Obviously, the home show was not the magic answer. No. But we started getting our name out there, advertising, door knocking, hitting the pavement, friends, family. And we were able to build a good team. And now we are here today.
Yeah, and it's pretty impressive. Yeah, because obviously, so if I understand correctly, you started off like subbing out to other people, and are you in a partnership with this company or
no? So originally we were the subcontractors. We were subbing off the larger roofing companies.
Okay,
and like I said, just watching the way they were operating and the service that they were providing, I just felt that we could offer better. I felt that we could look out for their interest in a better manner. In the beginning, we started with just roofing.
Sure.
So we were just doing shingles. We didn't do anything else. When we were, what I would like to say, you can never say mastered, but when we had that down pat, we had the systems, we had the processes. After that, we began adding new services one by one by hiring out somebody who was experienced in that field.
Okay. And that led into creating Vanity Roofing as we know it today.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
exactly.
obviously we'll go through because we were quite impressed. I mean, obviously I think for the most part in the management company, we've been using your services from a roofing standpoint,
Correct.
but obviously we've come to learn that you offer quite a few other services. So we'll look at you just highlighting those because actually even for us, we're like, we didn't even know that they were that wide.
A lot of people don't because of the name, right? When it insinuates roofing, you don't read the rest or don't look at it, which is why we have a sister company called Ottawa Eavestroughing. Which handles all of the eavesdropping, siding, soffit, fascia.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long has this been for you? Like, what's this journey been like?
So roofing has been just over 11 years.
Okay.
And the eavesdropping has been about 9, I believe.
Okay. And we're doing a quick review, like Google reviews. We always find it interesting because obviously we know we started from no reviews years ago and trying to build that business. And obviously to have a service business, I think at where you stood this morning at like 215 reviews rated at 4.7, which is fantastic for a service business. So kudos to you.
We'd like to be more, but you can never keep everyone absolutely happy.
No,
we try our best. But.
Yeah. And I mean, you're in the service business, there's always challenges that you're going to be faced with that you can't control. So, but to have a rating that high with that amount of reviews, being that in business that long, so that's raised to you guys.
Thank you.
You guys are doing well.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
So who's your target, like the types of properties in your target client market? Like who are those people? Like what types of properties? Is it more residential, commercial, both? Like what does that look like for you?
I would say the majority would be residential.
Okay.
But I would say at the same time, you can't take commercial, the equation out of it, because we do a lot of small to medium sized buildings. So if you're talking like 4 stories, 5 stories, those are things that we can do the exterior cladding on, we can do the flat roof on, we can do everything A to Z. But when you're talking high rises, that becomes a different level of commercial.
Okay.
When people talk about commercial, they're usually talking Amazon warehouses and that.
Sure.
Fortunately, we haven't gone to that.
Yeah.
But I would say everything else, we work with property management companies, homeowners, insurance companies, and like I said, small to medium sized builders.
And is it like new build stuff, or just like, I mean, the repairs, maintenance, and replacements, say, of shingles, or do you do like new house? Because obviously new housing is more volume based, I suspect.
Correct.
And it's just a different model in many cases.
So like I said, we do like small to medium sized builders in a sense of we don't really do box homes. They would be mostly custom homes, small subdivisions, builders that are willing to pay a little bit of premium to have a better product. I'm not saying the other builders are bad. I want this to be, but
no,
but
that's
they're looking
reality.
for a specific.
It's volume based. Right?
We can't do the cheapest work.
Right.
We can give you the best value. We just can't be the best price.
Right. And that clientele. So obviously homeowners or owners of small multiplex buildings, that type of stuff. Exactly. There's typically the
insurance,
target.
Lots of insurance, and then lots of property management companies.
Interesting. Yeah, that's where you get more the longer term relationship value. Yeah.
Our system's a little bit different with insurance in Canada versus USA. A lot of roofers in the USA are focused on insurance because they can deal directly with insurance. In Canada, there's a stipulation that they only deal with restoration companies that are nationwide.
Okay.
Meaning we have to deal with the restoration companies who ultimately deal with the insurance. And now obviously smaller insurance companies, they'll deal directly because they don't have that system. But for the most part, the big carriers work with restoration companies.
Okay. Fair enough. And so we touched on it a bit just a few moments ago. So obviously roofing being the core, and you talked about eavesdropping and so on. So what else? Because we've seen quite a few things on your website, and maybe you just take.
So everything, we've been doing everything for a while now. Roofing. When I say roofing, I mean shingles. Yeah. And then flats, we do carry the open flame insurance, which not everybody does.
Okay. So that's like flat roofing,
that's flat
porch
roofing
on.
With the porch on, exactly.
Okay. Is that the insurance on that is a special insurance? I believe,
correct,
right?
yes.
It's quite expensive too.
Correct.
Do you guys have to be licensed to apply that product? Or?
You don't need to be licensed, but you do need to have your propane ticket. You do need to have, obviously, fire safety equipment on site. It's totally a different thing, which is what helps the small to medium-sized builders when you're looking for somebody to handle the A to Z.
Yes.
You can call us, and that's not a worry. We carry the open flame insurance. We're not just going to put a peel and stick.
Yeah, of course.
And then we have, for metal, we have our own Angler Metal Man machine, which shoots out standing seam panels. So we can create...
For roofing?
Yeah, we have a metal machine. Yeah, we show up to the house. We have our own. Yeah, we have a coil that goes in. It shoots out the profile right.
So you mean you do it on site?
Yes, we can fabricate metal panels right on site.
Interesting. For metal roofing?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a lot of a demand for that?
So metal is obviously expensive.
Yeah.
I feel like the people who want metal take metal.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at it from in terms of justification financially, you can't justify metal. But if you're done with shingles and you want metal and that's what you want, then you can justify it.
And I mean shingles, so obviously your typical 15, 20, 25 year lifetime warranty shingles as opposed to metal. Like what is the lifespan? What's the difference? Like how do you sell one versus the other? Obviously?
So I'll say the new architectural shingles, which replace the old organic shingles that have now been discontinued, the 3-tab per se.
Yeah.
So those shingles used to get let's say 12 to 15 years. The newer shingles, in my opinion, will get 20 to 30 years.
Okay.
The architect, as long as they're installed properly.
Sure.
And then metal, if you go with Americana or what I want to say is exposed fasteners.
Yep.
Obviously, that system is not going to last more than 20 or 30 years without the screws being caulked, replaced, something. But a standing seam metal roof, which is the profile we actually fabricate and install, those are like 50 to 100-year roofs. Like they don't have any reason to leak except for by the time rust happens, right? Which is
interesting. Huh. Yeah, no, that's and what about what about like noise? I mean, if it's raining or whichever, shingles as opposed to metal.
Of course, metal has some more sound
Yeah.
to it. There is that. And obviously it comes with snow sliding off.
Right. So that's
It's
what
got,
you see.
yes, metal has its own things, but if you're in the country and you're tired of the wind, which even though the new shingles have the guarantee for all that, some people just don't believe it. And sometimes it's cosmetic,
Right.
right? A standing, in my opinion, the nicest roof is a standing seam metal roof in black. Like that's just my.
And you mentioned in the country and wind, meaning that you don't have the blow off shingles that go off.
Yes, although we don't even have blow offs for anywhere we've installed the shingles on the new architecturals. They're very good, right? Like the tabs don't lift, so I don't think it's a problem. But the ones who have been in the country and have replaced 2 or 3 roofs just won't believe anything you say about shingles anymore.
Interesting.
And they've made their decision, heck or high water.
Okay.
They want a metal roof.
Okay. Interesting.
Looking for stable income-producing assets? At Dory, we help clients buy and sell commercial properties that deliver long-term value. From multifamily buildings to turnkey retail and office investments, let's talk about your next smart move. Visit us at dorymultiresidential.com.
And what would you say is, like, in terms of percentage market-wise, people who do shingles as opposed to metal? Is it like a 90-10?
I would say 90-10. 90-10.
Is that right? That much, eh?
At best, 80-20.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because we were talking with a distributor a few months ago, and I guess obviously that's all he did. Mind you, it wasn't seamless. I don't think they were building it. I think they were actually installing panels, but they were talking about having to have it, the roof painted every so often. So obviously, because you get the sun on it. I mean, how does that work for fading?
So it depends on the manufacturer of the coil. So most coils are a 15-year color guarantee.
Okay.
But I mean, for the most part, even when it does fade, it's not like catastrophic fading where you're like, oh my God, this looks hideous. After 30, 40 years, yes. But in the short term, no.
Right.
You can justify a metal roof, like you own a property downtown. You know that it's going to be expensive to do the first time around just because of the access issues, the height, the restrictions, all of that. You know, the permits.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're spending 3 times the price of a shingle roof to do a metal roof, it makes sense because you will have to replace those shingles again if you're holding on to the property long term, and you know it's just going to be 3 times as much in 25 years, 30 years.
And is it the guarantee for somebody that's shingles, like regular shingles versus like what it was
There's 2 different warranties basically when you buy a roof. Number 1 is the manufacturer warranty, and number 2 is your workmanship warranty. Yeah. And then the shingles you buy come with different levels, and some of it is marketing and some of it is real. We sell Certainty. For the most part, Certainty comes with a 50-year registered warranty as long as you're certified.
Sure.
So just like any business-wise, I think the shingles are going to last 35, maybe more. But what I do know is they're banking on the 1% of people who actually keep their receipt and live in that house for 50 years.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right? Like
fair
it's
enough.
just numbers.
No, that's good. Sounds good. So obviously, and then you mentioned, obviously soffits and fascia as well.
Correct.
Do you install or do you just repair or replace? Like what is that?
We do full. So when we're working with a builder, we'll do the roofing, the siding, the soffit, the fascia,
everything,
the cladding,
outside.
A to Z to make it.
No brick.
Correct. The only thing we don't do is we don't do masonry, we don't do stucco, and we don't do landscaping.
Interesting.
Everything else from the build we can coordinate.
Interesting.
And basically make it seamless for them. Because coordinating 5 trades, and then everybody blames the next guy. Or, like, oh, this is not my problem. I'm going to do my job, and that'll be the next guy's problem. When you work with one...
Almost seems like you've done this before.
Yeah. It's just, it makes life easier. We give the bid, and then they're happy, we're happy. Can't blame the next guy. It's all your fault.
Right.
It's all your fault.
When in doubt, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Then we can start resolving the issue.
That's it. Exactly.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So I guess obviously I'm glad because the team's going to need to know that part. Because I think even for us at Dory, we actually we only had one, part of your services as registered as preferred vendor. So it's good. I think we'll have to readjust. We can talk about it after. So.
Absolutely. I would love to.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And also, obviously siding, exterior, you talked about. You also, on your website, you have blown-in attic insulation.
Yes, we do insulation. We have a partnership with Ottawa Installations. We've been friends for 30 years, almost 25 years.
Nice.
And we can do it all. So we don't
Okay.
put any markup on him. It's
Yeah.
literally, if you come to us or you go to him, it's the same price.
You're just servicing that. That's
Correct. We're making sure that our clientele is taken care of.
Yeah.
And they're happy and we're happy.
No, that's great. And I mean, obviously, eavesdrops and leaf guards, that's
all
done through your
Yes,
your
that's
sister
all
company?
through us. That's all done through us. It's all the same. So typically through the season, we run about 16 crews a day.
16 crews
16
a day.
crews a
and
day.
How many guys?
I would say it's usually about 4 service techs.
Wow.
And then about 5 shingle crews,
Mm.
1 flat crew, 2 to 3 gutter crews, and
Yep.
the rest are siding crews, about 4 of them.
Okay. All for repairs.
No, this is all throughout. For
Okay.
repairs, it's just the 4 guys,
Sure.
the 4 service techs.
Yeah.
Now, if the repair is larger, obviously you'll get one of the siding techs to come help out, or the roofing tech, and obviously coordinate. But
Yeah.
obviously, the service techs have to be able to do both.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
fair
can't
enough.
just be able to do shingles as a service tech because there's so much more intricate stuff that comes into it.
Yeah.
And so,
No,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Yeah. So you're not looking for things to do every day.
no, we're not. No. This year, I'd like to say we're slow. I know the
Yeah.
guys will.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? It's busy,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
2025 is not.
No, it's an interesting
It's an
year.
interesting
yeah,
year,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I'm involved in multiple businesses, and it's interesting to see that everybody kind of feeling the same flow, where it's just off a bit. Not
Hey.
necessarily bad, not necessarily good, but off from what we're kind of used to. So it's interesting.
I think you're like me. You like being busy. You like the
Yeah, of
chaos.
course.
So I like it. So
Yeah.
I kind of miss it that it's not. But then
Yeah.
I'm told that you should enjoy the moments like this where we're not in that.
Yeah,
predicament, right?
exactly.
Because the insurance
We tell
adjuster.
ourselves that, but we're never
Correct. I got buddies that work for restoration. They do adjusting work, and they're like, I'm loving this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why? And he's like, man, for every year from 2017,
Oh, yeah, it's
we've been
brutal.
getting hammered.
Yeah.
He's like, so to have a break finally from last year to this year is nice.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
No, it's.
I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
no. I'm with you. I'm with you.
No.
No breaks. No breaks. Hey, Mike. No breaks. Okay. I want to make sure he's
Oh yeah,
paying
he knows.
attention.
He knows. There's
Want to
no
make sure he's paying attention to what we're
for
saying.
sure.
And obviously, I mean, most of these services are seasonal based. And what I found interesting was the fact that obviously you guys will deal with ice damming, removing snow off the roofs. So you're keeping your crews busy all year for the most part.
For the most part. So
Yeah.
like I said, when you're running 16 crews, it's hard to keep everybody busy during the winter. So for the most part, we keep the guys who have been there long term and the guys that still want to work. Some guys are happy with their layoffs.
Okay.
And that's fine. I'd say in terms of production, we're probably down to 40%, 30% of spring, summer, fall.
Okay. But
But
at
yeah, we
least-
keep them busy year round. We have
Right.
to. Bills
Yeah.
are 12 months a year.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
Weather is 12 months a year. We've got to
Exactly.
try.
Exactly. And I mean, obviously you have emergency services. So is that cover like you're on 24/7?
24/7.
Interesting.
24/7. Even Christmas holidays when everybody else closes, all
Yeah.
the staff is off.
Right.
I personally take the phone
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
duration.
Good for you.
Because it's not just the emergency. Some people think it's about money.
Right.
It's not that. It's this. Sometimes it's your own roof that can
Right.
be leaking, and
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
responsible for the damage. So
Absolutely.
you better get there as quick as you can to make sure that you minimize damage.
Absolutely.
Right. So we've got to stay open.
No, absolutely. And I mean, obviously we go back, I think a couple of years, there's the retro in Ottawa. and I think,
22, yeah.
2022 at the, was that the long weekend of May or the weekend before, I think, but there had been, and I mean, obviously I remember us here at the office,
It was crazy. I was working from a Starbucks parking lot.
Yeah, it was
20-hour
everywhere.
days.
There was a lot of them.
chaos.
So, roofing companies were really,
We were in demand.
you were in high
we were in
demand.
demand. But
Yeah.
I think that's what's affecting exterior trades this year more, like roofers and more than the other trades, is because the roofers have been so spoiled, right? Like 17, 18, 19, 20. Every year we had a great windstorm, and in 22 we had the Derecho,
Yeah.
leading to a lot of 3-tab shingles being replaced prematurely, which I think has affected overall the roofing season this year.
Sure. Yeah, so we haven't had, but we're still early in the season.
Correct. It's still busy enough, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not 22.
No. 2022 was, and I remember here in the East End, there's a tornado that hit the Ottawa River and then crossed over, and then there were some places where it actually ripped off roofs.
It
like
was
the brand
from
new.
Bourget. We did so much from Bourget to Dunrobin. It
Yeah.
was everywhere.
Yeah.
You couldn't, like, there wasn't an area that wasn't affected in my
Right.
opinion, some way, somehow.
Yeah, and keeps you guys busy and something to do.
Hey, it was, that work carried over from May right to almost the start of 24.
Yeah, no. It's unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast thing.
That is.
At Dore, we go beyond basic property management. We pair tenants with homes that fit their lives and landlords with tenants they can trust. Inquire today and rent from people who care.
So if somebody's listening in and they're like, how would they know that the roof needs to be replaced or that it's time to start, exploring that option? Like what would be the things that they would point out and say, oh, well, maybe, I should call Vanity Roofing and get a quote and so on. Like what is that? What are those things, those markers that they could look at?
I would say the typical things are going to be the obvious. Number one, are your shingles curling? Number two, do you see granules in your gutters?
Yep.
Do you see granules at the bottom of the downspout? And overall, if your roof is 20 to 25 years old, you should at least have a free inspection.
Sure.
You should at least know where you stand.
Right.
Caulking, no warranty covers caulking, and caulking is usually only good for 5 years.
Okay.
5 to 10, let's say.
Okay.
So getting a roof tune-up really prevents that from becoming an issue and having to change the roof prematurely. So as long as you're staying on top of it and you get it looked at, you're able to extend that life and at least hold on to the roof for a little bit longer.
No, yeah, fair enough. So if I'm understanding you correctly, if it starts raining in your house because there's some shingles that have been popped off for a few months, that's too late.
I would say so, but I would say if it starts leaking inside your house and you're on the ground floor in a 2-story, it could be the bathroom.
Yeah, it could be something else. It doesn't mean it's a roof. Okay, fair enough. And I mean, obviously, somebody's reaching out to you. I mean, to your team to get a quote, whichever. What typically would be the questions they should be asking in terms of making sure they're getting the right service? Because I'm assuming if they're going from one contract to the next, there's certain differences on installation, how if somebody's been exposed to ice damming and how to prevent that from happening, or what should they be asking you in terms of being educated and trying to make sure that they get the right product and the right service?
I think number one, if you're talking to us directly, it's just being transparent.
Yep.
Do you plan to keep the home for longer than 20 years?
Because that could affect the quality that you want installed.
Correct.
So somebody's saying,
yes.
I'm planning on selling my house in the next couple of years, then you may not invest in a metal roof.
Correct. Whether it's a metal roof or the premium shingle brand with a registered 50-year warranty, it's not necessary if you're just looking for 10 to 20 years of peace of mind and you're not staying there. You don't need to spend the extra money. As long as the roof installed properly, even a builder grade shingle will last you that amount of time.
Okay.
Number one, if you're having issues with leaking, you need to bring that to whoever you're talking with attention. Let's say hypothetically you have a leak once a year during the thaw for ice damming, but you don't mention that it only happens during a certain time. You say it leaked once.
Right.
Then
it's important. I think let's go deeper into that because I think some of the people listening in may not understand what that means. So ice damming, but just go just a bit deeper because I think somebody listening in said, "What do you mean? Like it leaked once, but not necessarily understanding that there may be certain things that."
Okay,
right. So I'll just dive into.
I'll bring in the ice damming. So number one, ice damming is a phenomenon. Yeah. It's caused by ventilation and insulation, and not necessarily your roof shingles. Sometimes there are roofs we just replace. And, let's say it had a corner of a wall and the customer says it leaks, but didn't mention that it was in the winter, just said it leaked recently and we're thinking it's rain. So we fixed the ice and valley, we put the flashing in, we've done our portion of the roof. However, shingles are not waterproof. They're water resistant, meaning they can still leak if water backs up.
Right. So if your tabs are like this, then the water can go this way, obviously. Correct. And what would cause ice damming?
So ice damming is caused by poor ventilation or poor insulation. So if your attic, correct. Right. If your attic is hotter than outside, you're going to have a problem.
Right.
You basically want your attic to be the same temperature as outside. And with that, you have a healthy attic. You want to make sure that the bathroom fans are actually venting out of the home and not into the attic space, which happens quite often.
Just in the
Correct.
attic.
Sometimes they went to the soffit. The soffit's blocked, and now it's because they had a soffit vent.
Sure.
And then sometimes they were originally at the roof in a gooseneck vent. However, during their previous roof replacement, when they replaced the vent, the pipe didn't come on, and then now that's causing damage. And when you have bad ventilation, you cause a lot of damage. You cause your shingles to go prematurely. You cause ice damming to occur. Just not good.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah. But that's important, and I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but also I forget what the name of that product is, but that roll of black, the roll that's
ice and water shield.
The ice and water shield.
Yes.
So obviously, if somebody's exposed to that, perhaps you put a second layer or second level, or what do you?
No
recommend?
matter what. So here's the thing: if you have a low slope area, and you've tried ice and water shield. Ice and water shield is not perfect. And same with Grace. So if we run into a roof that has a dead valley or something that's bad, we tell them usually we can try with Blue Skin with a Grace product, which is more premium. Not a very big price
Blue Skin
difference.
Underneath the shingle.
Correct. Sometimes in certain areas, you just want to make sure. 9 out of 10 times that will solve the problem. But if it's too low slope, then we like to recommend to do the torch on.
Okay.
However, with a torch on is much more expensive because of the liability.
Sure. And
number two, just to do, let's say we do 10 minutes of torching, we still have to stand there for 2 hours and do fire watch and record
Make
it.
sure it doesn't catch a fire.
So that's billable.
Right.
So we don't want to necessarily jump right away to flat, but if they're like, listen, I don't care. I want a bulletproof. I don't want to deal with this again. We're like, listen, you're going to need to put a 2-ply on this because it's the only system that's actually waterproof.
Right.
You could have a swimming pool on it and have no issues.
Right. Yeah, whereas the other options, so somebody's exposed to that. There's other options than just basically replacing shingles. It could be you could be preventive in your approach. So, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming whoever goes on site for your crew would be able to identify and make those comments or suggestions.
For dead spots, absolutely. For the problem is with attic ventilation, unless they ask for a specific check, we don't really do it. And most roofing companies don't really do the home energy, right? Like its home energy audits are its own thing.
Right.
So unless you do a full test to see where the leaking is occurring.
But the home energy audit, you mean for leaking?
No.
Okay.
For solving the problem of an ice dam or just heat loss in general. In order to solve that problem efficiently, you have to do the attic portion.
Right.
And to know that, you have to have the guide to tell you. Now, if it's a specific area that you know and it's on the roof, then that's fine. But sometimes it's from a window.
Right. Yeah.
And people are assuming because it's coming in from the top of the window at that second story that it's a roofing problem. And then you fix the attic and then it's actually coming in from that top of the window where it meets.
Right.
So it's tricky with water always, right? It could be coming.
It's almost better off. I mean, it's almost better off, I'm assuming, for you guys if you actually see the problem live and then be able to make the corrective measures, I would assume, right?
That's exactly.
Because if you're looking at a problem that occurred 6 months ago, not understanding the source of that issue, not knowing if there was ice damming, not knowing if there's any other issues, then it's tough. You kind of you're assuming based on most
and then
common practices.
You could be leading the customer down spending money they don't need. So usually you got to have that communication of what's happening. But let's say hypothetically, when we're getting into that part of the year where it's cold enough where you see frost, we can look at your roof when there's frost and tell, hey, look, major heat loss here. If it's not an issue yet, it'll be an issue in the future.
Right.
So there are some signs. It's just not every time.
Right.
And if you're calling,
and it's a buildup. Like, I mean, obviously, like ice damming doesn't happen typically overnight.
No, and we've got to get enough snow,
and then it melts, and
the cycle the cycle's got to be bad enough. We've got to get enough snow. Obviously, this year we had a ton of snow. I think the year before wasn't as bad, but still we had. And there's years that you don't get any, and there's nothing.
Right. I love those years.
I hate my worst is my worst is
I love. He says I hate nothing.
Selling a commercial property? At Dory, we know how to attract the right buyers, price strategically, and help you get over the finish line and close. Let us market your asset the right way and help you get the returns you deserve. Visit us at dorymultiresidential.com.
But that's good. But obviously, obviously, I'm putting myself in your shoes. If you're going there and asked to correct an issue, not knowing what the source of the problem is, or having the opportunity to see what the issue is. So it's good for anybody listening in that if they have an issue that they think is related to that, even though it's in the middle of winter, and they say, I can't change my roof.
Mention more details of what you're looking at.
Yeah, or I would even say if you have a leak in the winter, understanding you can't replace your shingles in the winter, perhaps get you guys to go on site and see what the issue is, and then afterwards, if you're getting it done you could correctively provide the right solution. Right?
Let's say hypothetically, there's a customer who has a problem with the roof, and let's say it's an ice dam.
Yeah.
So we go there, it's an ice dam. First thing, number one, when you have an ice dam, is to at least remove the snow that's there to minimize future ice damming. So number one, the preventative is to remove the actual snow from the roof before it turns into an ice dam, or before it continues freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing. So number two is, from there, we know that there's some kind of loss from the floor to the attic. So either you don't have enough insulation, or there's a pipe leaking there. So we can determine that. But if you come to us in the spring and had a leak in the winter, and we look at the area, we can't assume it was an ice dam.
No, exactly.
Now, obviously, what I meant when I hate earlier is I hate when we do a new roof this year, and then during the winter they have their first ice dam, and they're like, "You did my roof,
right?
I've never had this problem before.
That's fair, yeah.
Why is my roof leaking?" That's a tough conversation.
The ice and water shield is what, 3 feet, 4 feet?
6 feet. Standard in renovation.
How many?
6 feet. So
6 feet. Okay. Yeah, 6 feet from the
bottom of the eave on the valley is 100%. That's the norm for Ottawa's market.
Okay.
Standard is 6 feet for renovations or custom builders.
So it'd have to be pretty aggressive ice damming to get. I mean, if you have 6 feet of ice and water shield, that means it's built up like fairly high.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
It would be pretty aggressive. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. That's fair. No.
Depends on the slope. You have a 10, 12 roof like this, you're not going to have any ice damming probably. But if you got a low slope roof, it's
yeah, because then obviously that makes a lot
more
of
snow
sense.
snits. Yeah, exactly.
No, that makes a lot of sense. No, I think anybody listening in, I think there's some good nuggets there to keep track, especially if somebody's experienced any issues that they think is related to the roof. Even if it's happening in the winter, it may be beneficial to have the opportunity, you guys, to come in and see what the issue is and see if you can bring corrective measures.
I've had that before. I've had a guy who didn't realize that it was a one-off, and I'm like, "So does it only leak during this time?" He's like, "Yeah, it's really weird." He's like, "And then the problem just kind of goes away." Yeah, and you're thinking like, "That's an ice dam." And he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's terrible.
But if somebody doesn't know, right?
Yeah, we send them a video. We're like, "Watch this video, please."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Because when people don't know, they don't know, right? So that's why anybody
before I ever did roofing,
this is a common thing.
Yes, super
right. So it's a common thing, and it's correctable, and obviously, so it's I think we cover a lot of stuff, but I think that's probably a more common one that we experience too. Of course, you guys are property manager all the time, and you're like, well, yeah, and then and you're trying to bring corrective measures to the table. So it's good because I don't think we realized that the blown-in attic insulation was something that could be offered through your services. So that way, if that was, if that was an issue for ice damming, perhaps there's an opportunity there to reassess that part in order to prevent the ice damming from occurring in the later 100% later years. So
we try our best to, like, when you do all the attic work, you're basically 90, 95, 98% to be able to do that. Now, if you want 100%, obviously, like I said, the waterproofing with a 2-ply, we've done that even on a roof that shouldn't have been a flat, but they had a pool. So that was causing serious condensation.
Oh, right.
So then we put the 2-ply on, and they never had problems again.
Interesting.
So it's
Every one is different.
Yeah, and he didn't even tell anyone he had the pool underneath. And then we're like, okay, like, so what is this, your living room? And he's like, it's the pool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That changes it a bit. Yeah. I'm assuming there's not a lot of people have that.
No, I don't think it's a common pool here.
Yeah, it's not a common I don't think that's a common issue. So just to cover back off, so obviously the shingles, my understanding from what you're saying, the shingles that are being used today are significantly superior than the tree tabs that were used to use before.
That is correct.
And that range of warranty is 20, 25. What is it?
So the life expectancy of the new shingles are about 20 to 30 years.
Okay.
The warranties, depending on the manufacturer. So if you go with IKO, They're 15 years out of the box.
Sure.
If you go with GAF or Certainteed, they're 10 years out of the box.
Yeah.
But if you go with if you go with a manufacturer certified roofing company, they can offer different packages.
Okay.
So for us, we can offer a 5-star warranty that covers 50-year full roof replacement, 25 years even on
But
work.
5 years, that a warranty that comes from Vanity or from the supplier?
50 years from the manufacturer.
From the manufacturer. Okay.
Direct. So we register it. We pay. Obviously, you have to pay to register.
Of course.
Paying to register the warranty, using all of their products, you get 50-year full roof replacement, 25-year workmanship.
Okay.
And then I believe GAF has a similar thing. They call it Golden Pledge, I believe.
Okay.
I think their workmanship might be 20, but
Okay.
overall 50-year full non-prorated warranty.
Actually.
Correct.
Yeah.
But IKO is 15-year non-prorated. The remaining 35 is prorated.
Okay.
Meaning it diminishes with value. Correct. Yes.
Depending on the amount of
Correct.
years. Yeah. So you don't get the same warranty at 10 than you would at 20.
No, whereas the other guys are offering it with.
Sure.
But like I said, in my opinion, I think it's mostly because only 1% of people are going to be in the same house for 50 years.
Right.
With all the.
Well, I think that's a key question that you alluded to at the beginning. If you have the ability to have a discussion with the owner of the property and trying to get an understanding of what how long they want to keep it or what they want to do, you may be able to direct them on the type of product that they should or should not take.
But honestly, I'd say 8 out of 10 shingle roofs we sell come with the 50-year warranty.
Sure.
Most people want it because the price difference isn't huge.
Okay.
So they usually go with that. But nonetheless, if it's a short-term hold, then they're like, why would I? And it also depends the size of the roof as well, right? Like you get a bigger roof, small amount, compounds becomes a larger amount.
Of course. No, that makes a lot of sense. So Tufon, we covered a lot of stuff today.
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
I
think we did okay.
Yeah, I think we did well.
I think we did okay.
What was that saying? We're amateurs, but we charge like professionals.
That's it. That's it.
So if anybody wants to reach out to you or your team, what's the best ways? Through the website, the phone? I would
say sending an email, either contact@vanityroofing.ca or service@vanityroofing.ca. Or just going on the website, www.vanityroofing.ca.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think anybody listening in, go through because I think it's quite impressive. The website, you guys did a good job. And obviously it covers a lot of the services that even us using you weren't necessarily aware how wide the types of services that you offered. So, hats off to you guys and your team.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me
Keep
today.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Dory Podcast. If you're an entrepreneur or investor focused on real estate in Ottawa, we want to hear from you. Apply to be a guest and check out our video content anytime on YouTube.